Good evening all and welcome to another video on All How the Ale. It's Sunday night, which means it's trad beer night, and the beers we're reviewing tonight are one and the same. You know what they are, you've seen them on the thumbnail. It is the absolute classic. It's a beer I cut my teeth on, is this one. It is Spitfire from Shepherd Neame. And why am I reviewing it now when I've already done it in the past? Well, there's a bit of a trend of late for breweries to completely change the recipes of their beers to lower the ABV, which, you know, I get it. It reduces the tax that they pay on the beer. It might keep them in business. That's going to be a topic of discussion for another video. But Shepherd Neame have done it to Spitfire as well as Bishop's Finger. Bishop's Finger's reduction completely and utterly changed the beer. It is not recognisable as the same beer. And I'm hoping and praying beyond belief that Spitfire is not affected in the same way. Because, as I said, it's the beer I cut my teeth on. First brewed in 1990 to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the Spitfire aeroplane. It's a beer that, like I said, was my dad's favourite. It's mine to this day, providing that the recipe hasn't changed that much, that the beer is no longer the same beer. What's the difference, I hear you say? Well, Spitfire, as it stands, was 4.5% ABV in the bottle. The new one is 4.2. 0.3 of a percentage difference. Can't make that much difference, can it? Well, it did. On Bishop's Finger, it was a huge difference. Like I say, completely different beer. You would not recognise them as the same. And I'm just praying, as I say, that this one is not going in the same path. There is another difference, though, that I've noticed. The OG 4.5% is in a clear glass bottle, and you can see the colour of the beer through it. 4.2 is now in a brown glass bottle. You know, so if I just get off to one side, you can see it looks darker in the bottle because it is darker, because the glass is brown. I hope that's not a cynical attempt to hide the colour of the beer. That will be revealed in a moment. Otherwise, the packaging is exactly the same. The only difference is the ABV. Price is the same wherever you buy it from. So yeah. So we're going to pour them into two separate glasses. We're going to start with the OG. That's going to go into my Father's Day glass. And the other one, the 4.2, is going to go into my Erdinger glass of all things, because I haven't got another suitable glass for the beer. Anyway, the OG, 4.5%. It's the right colour. Look at that. Glorious colour. Amber beer. That will do. I'm going to save some in the bottle. Beautiful beer, we all know it, we all love it. I say we all. Lots of people don't, but I do. So yeah, it looks good. 4.2. Like I say, pouring into my Erdinger glass. This is going to look weird, but here we go. Already a paler looking beer. So, side by side. Okay, it's not that much different in colour to my eyes. It might do here. With light coming through them, they do look, actually, it's a subtle shade lighter. It is a subtle shade lighter. So, yeah. Appearance is subtly different. It's so subtle though, it really is. So let's go for a sniff of the OG. Twiggy brown goodness. It's malty, it's hoppy, it's nice bittering hops. It smells like I know and love. As for the newer 4.2% version, doesn't smell the same. Let's try and get a bit more in so I can get closer. It smells of absolutely nothing. That's a shame. This one smells like beer. This one smells, dare I say it, as weak and as insipid as Doom Bar. I'm getting nothing. I'm getting absolutely nothing off that one. The bottles have been stored in exactly the same way. They've been fridge cooled. They've been left out for 20 minutes. Big difference, and I suspect that's going to translate to the flavour as well. So, the OG. Body's light to medium, heavier on the medium side. Carbonation is pillowy soft. It's glorious. And the new one, the 4.2, arguably the same. Carbonation's a little bit more spiky. That's the only real difference I can say. As for the flavour, the OG, I love it. It's got beautiful malts, roasted to the point where they spring on slightly coffee flavours. Got beautiful sort of burnt caramel notes coming through. You've got slightly fruity bittering hops. It's got a classic sort of bitter edge to it. It's glorious. And the new 4.2, you can tell they're related. You can. There is a difference though. It's sweeter. You've still got the malts, but they're not as intense. You've still got some of that hop, but it's not as intense. And like I say, there is a sweeter edge to it overall. Yeah, this one, this is better than their remake of Bishop's Finger at a lower ABV. Those two, you could not tell they're related in any way, shape or form. This is close. It's like siblings, that close. You know, there's subtleties, but it's just minor. I mean, it's not as good, don't get me wrong. It's just a little sweeter. The finish, the bitterness does start to come through on the back end, but again, it is quite subtle. Whereas the OG, the bitterness is all the way through. You do it the other way around. Start with the new one, go with the OG. The difference seems more pronounced. You get more of that twig, more of that hop, more of the bitterness. There we go. It is different. Is it enough to say I would never buy this one again? Because I've already said I won't buy the Witchwood Hobgoblin Ruby because they're not the same anymore in any way, shape or form. And I won't buy Bishop's Finger again because they are not recognisable as the same beers. This one, though, I can entertain. You know, it's a marginal reduction in flavour. I say marginal, no, it's a bit more than marginal. It's, if the OG is 100%, this is operating around about 85. Whereas the Bishop's Finger, you're talking 100% for the OG and about 20% for the replacement. And that's unacceptable for me as a beer drinker. This one, I can tolerate. I think tolerate is the right word. I'm not happy about it because, like I say, it's the beer that I grew up on. It's the beer that my dad loved, and it's a beer that I drink on his birthday every year to remember him. I still will because it's the association. He'll know the difference. He'd send that back in a pub though. As with my Uncle Roy, it was his favourite beer as well. They would have sent it back because it doesn't taste right. It doesn't taste like Spitfire as you knew it, but things have to, unfortunately, change to fit the times. And if they have to cut a bit of ABV to save some money, to save the brewery, again, we'll go on to that in another video, but I get it. So yeah. So have they ruined this one completely? The answer is no. Is it the same? The answer is no. Would I drink it again? Yes. And I'm pleased for that one because, like I say, it's my favourite beer of the style. My favourite amber ale. And I'm going to have to do some comparisons of amber ales now that all of them are changing. Do some side-by-sides and do a little bit of a tourney. See who wins. See if anything's changed. So, yeah. Sadly, out with the old and in with the new 4.2. We'll leave it there and say, that's been the beer. I've been me. Those down there are the buttons. You know exactly what to do with them by now. You've got your like, comment, dislike and subscribe. Choose any combination of them as you wish. And I'll see you again soon for another one. Bye for now.